there's 15 devils.
Everyone knows what this is. For as long as mass media has existed, evangelism has always been a part of it. Now at the same time, everyone knows what this is. For as long as cinema has existed, low-budget, sleazy or gory films have always been released. But what happens if these two worlds collide? In 1966, Ron Ormond, a filmmaker known for low-budget, sleazy movies, survived 2 plane crashes, and some say he came out of this experience a reformed Christian. He found a kindred spirit in Baptist minister Estes Perkel, a preacher known for his extreme hardline views. The two of them teamed up in 1971 with If Footmen Tire You, What Will Horses Do?
Are you willing to let your children be destroyed?
Even though they didn't realize it then, they had just created a genre that historians would go on to call Christploitation. While religion in cinema was already an active concept, the problem was that even individually both men's styles were so over the top. Ormond as a maker of cheesy schlock films and Perkel as a Cold War reactionary, convinced that an atheist, communist, apocalyptic genocide was about to begin in America unless everybody joined his church.
Which will take place within the next 24 months unless revival breaks out in our country. Tens of millions of Americans will be shot down like flies in our towns.
Naturally, the film reflects these heavy-handed views, interspersed with a sermon by Perkel. It begins with communists invading America on horseback and mass murdering Christians, assaulting women, mutilating children, and torturing the public to denounce Jesus.
Here is a documented incident of sheer horror. The man who's about to be killed did not break the law. His only crime was being a Christian. His own immediate family were forced to participate.
It's not just the communists that Perkel hated. Churches that preach tolerance, divorced couples.
There are preachers today who will marry anyone. It doesn't matter if the boy or girl's been married before. They'll marry them anyway. God's plan is for marriage till death.
Television and sex education teachers were on his hit list. This is what he claims sex education class teaches.
I personally believe that premarital sex is necessary. We will go on to discuss the 7 erotic zones of passion in every woman.
And they go on to teach worse things.
The film was a smash hit in the Bible Belt, being screened for months in several churches. Knowing they had hit upon a successful formula, Ormond and Perkel made their next film, Burning Hell. This film starts with quite a merry tune until you realize the song is called Hell Awaits You. This movie deals with hell itself and how we're all going there unless we listen to Perkel.
And hell is real and hot and terrible. I thank God for preachers who still preach it this way.
Rather than communists, this time the enemy was closer to home, other Christians. Specifically, modern Christians believing in a more metaphoric interpretation of the Bible until one of them decapitates himself in a bike crash. His friend, distraught and looking for Christian compassion, goes to Perkel to be consoled, but spends the rest of the movie listening to Perkel recounting all the ways in which his friend was being tortured in hell.
He's not going to hell, is he?
Chances are he's likely burning in the flames of hell right now.
This movie is where Ron Ormond got to show his real directorial skills. Special effects, makeup, costumes, art direction, and most importantly, casting, which is why the biblical Israelites all sound like they're from Mississippi, like Ormond himself.
Such rantings always imply that he's the only one among us that God speaks through. I say if you're going to do something, do it now.
The Burning Hell was arguably their most successful film. Unfortunately, behind the scenes, tensions were escalating between Perkel and Ormond. They parted ways after one last attempt in Believer's Heaven. The film explains all the great pleasures awaiting real Christians, such as reuniting with old relatives, hugging strangers, and praying together every day. But Perkel and Ormond do return to their old ways for a few minutes. Even though their partnership ended, Christploitation exists to this day, taking many forms with each generation of filmmakers, but few have come close to the fire and brimstone conjured up by the Perkel films. Despite its cheesiness, its effectiveness on impressionable minds was undeniable. So as long as there are souls to be saved and some money to be made, there'll always be a Perkel and an Ormond somewhere, someplace, ready to make a movie about it.